90% of the love that is displayed in church today is a discriminatory kind of love. A love that is only channeled to people of your sect, your cycle, your class, your band, people who are wealthy. I've not seen pastors who will pick a rich man's call but ignore a poor man's call. They treat a rich man differently, they treat a poor man differently. They say, no, honor those who are ahead. You are fake. Your love is discriminatory. Jesus never lived that way. He was seen sitting down with the publicans and sinners. How many Christians who are following the pattern of Jesus, how many of them can live like Jesus in this generation? For example, now if I go as an apostle now, and I go to where they play Bet Ninja, and I sit down there, and I'm talking with these guys, and I'm gisting with them, and I buy corn, let all of us, and people see me there. Do you know what they will say? What is an apostle of God? What's a man of God doing here? You see, that is exactly the kind of people the Pharisees were. The people Jesus hated. Their love was discriminatory. That love was not agape, because that's not the example God said. Can you love the world more than God? Yet he causes his sun to shine both the wicked and the good. You are not righteous. You are vain. Love your neighbor as thyself. That is the second greatest commandment. And if that's the second greatest commandment, then a man that has obeyed that commandment is one step close to attaining the ultimate form of alignment. One step closer to attaining the ultimate form of alignment. So the Bible says you cannot claim you love God when you've not loved your brother. Some people, they've not even loved their brother, not to talk of their neighbor. Meanwhile, he didn't say love your brother, he said love your neighbor first. So if you can show agape to your neighbor, what about your brother? So the sun cannot set on your ridge. You cannot be pompous towards your brother. No, he is your brother. He is your brother. We need to sit down again and ask ourselves, do I have the kind of love God has? I'm going to close with this story. This thing happened to me yesterday, and I shared it in the prayer place with my men. There's this young man that is, that always come around my house here. He doesn't have so much. He's going through a lot. And yesterday, he stands at the door, and I look at him. And I felt this, this guy again. I told him, come inside. And he sits down. I was so busy on my tab. And you could see he was just being careful. He didn't want to offend me. He didn't, but as though he had no choice. He just had to come. I asked him, where have you been? He said, has been so state. But he came back to, he had been in so state, but he came back to Abuja. I said, okay, what are you doing now in Abuja? He said, oh, I'm working with a construction company. I said, okay, where are you staying? Where are you sleeping? He told me he's sleeping in that construction where there are buildings, an uncompleted building. That's where he's sleeping. I said, okay, but why are you putting yourself through all these things? Why are you coming here? Just you could stay in Kadu. He said, there's nothing there for me. And I'll continue what I was doing on my tab. It then dawned on me. I said, wait, am I not a pastor? I said, I've not even asked him whether he has eaten. I quickly said, please, get food for him. And then, because we're already many in my house, we are so many. Something wanted to tell me, but I see your house is already full. You don't need to bring another responsibility to yourself. It now dawned on me. I said, what if it's me that is sitting down on that chair? What would I desire this man I'm looking at to do for me? I don't have much on me. We are surviving by the grace of God, but I told him, I said, the next day, if you can, bring your bag and come and start staying in my house. I said, you can't have brethren here and be stranded. That guy is not my church member. He's not prayerful. He's not a spiritual man, in quote. But you see, that thing I did for him is agape. Yes, sir. And that's loving my neighbor as myself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see, that thing is stronger than someone who has fasted for 70 years and doesn't have love in his heart. Love is only true when it is done to people that cannot pay you back. It is easy to say you love God, because obviously God is lifted up on high, exalted and powerful. And you know that you need to be on his good side. But it is hard to love a man that will not pay you back. It is hard to love a man that will not even appreciate that love. It is hard to love a man that will not have anything to reciprocate that love to. It is hard to love a man that will disrespect you. Well, see, every single day God shows that kind of love, the example of that love to us. Every single day, every single day, his rain falls on the wicked and on the righteous. His sun shines on the wicked and on the righteous. Every single day. So whose example are we following? I think you need to step out of that high horse and walk on the street one day and go and do good to that person. Go for once. Come down from your high horse. Don't do good expecting anything in return. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 22. This is where we're going to close. Look at what the Holy Apostle Paul said. He said, to the weak I became weak. I became. How many apostles or prophets can become weak to the weak? I know I'm the most prayerful here, but because I saw men who cannot pray so much, in order not to intimidate them, I chose to grow like them. So if they can only pray for 30 minutes, I'll pray with them 30 minutes. And then I'll go my way. I became weak, that I might gain the weak. Gain, there is a way to gain men. There is a way to win men. And it must stem from love. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. I am made all things to all men. See, the more I walk with this Jesus, the more I discover that the better part is with Mary. The better part will always be with Mary. To sit down and learn. There's so much we have to learn from him. So because someone is not able to pray for 5 hours, you stand and tell that person, you are not serious with your life. What do you have that was not given to you? Did God not tolerate you when you too you are feeble in his hand? Because someone cannot fast, you look at that person, oh, that person is not serious with their life. God should awaken true love in us. A love that can still have compassion. Do you know some people that claim to be Christian, they no longer have compassion? As simple as compassion is, it is far from them. Callous men pretending to be Christians. Callous men. So meditate on this parable. If you had a neighbor who borrowed from you and borrowed many times and he did not pay you back, if he comes to you and it's in your means to help him, will you still help him? That is the test of Agape. That's the test of Agape. Then you will now know why God causes his sun to shine every single day on both the wicked and the righteous. When you have no reason to love, can you still love? Yes, that's what Agape is. You don't have a reason to love your neighbor, but you still love. You don't have a reason to help that man almost half dead, but you still leave your priestly job to attend to him. Meanwhile, the priest in the Bible says he took another route. He made an excuse for himself. How many of the exalted pastors and prophetess today can still walk on the street and sit down with the common? No. We have to be with the Lord. You are fake. You are fake. You are fake. If it was a billionaire now, you will wear a suit and quickly go there. Because you have something to gain from that relationship. Let Jesus help us. Amen. Let Jesus help us. Amen. The kind of love we demonstrate, unfortunately, in church today is a segregated kind of love. Take care of the rich, respond to them, but ignore the poor. Ignore the plight of the poor. Respond to the rich because the rich is useful for ministry. They will help your ministry. That love is a fake love and not exemplified by Christ, neither by the Father. This thing God taught me. He said, Agape is missing a kind of love that doesn't need a payback, that doesn't need an applaud, that doesn't need a reward. The Samaritan man said, take care of him. Whatever the bill is, when I come, I will pay. And that man was more valuable to God than the priest and the Levite. Because he could show Agape. That was the kind of love Jesus patterned. That was why he could still be with his disciples and still have time to sit with the publicans and sinners. And he will sit with them. The Pharisees couldn't stand it Because the Pharisees believed in segregation. The same way today, let's say they see in a picture with a cultist or someone the church does not like, they will come hard on you because the church believes in segregation. They will say you are endorsing that person. Apostle Paul said, I became weak so that I can win. I can win them. That's when I discover that mercy is stronger than judgment. Mercy that steams out of love is stronger any day, any time than judgment. That's why even though God visits judgment to the third and fourth generation, his mercy is to many generations. We must learn from our God, our Aloha, our Father. We must learn from him. He causes his son to shine on both the righteous and the righteous, but the wicked and the good all enjoy his agape. His agape. Come down from your high horse and become like your master. Let him try your heart. Let him find love in it. Not a love that wants to be seen righteous. Not a love that wants to justify itself. A love that cannot be paid back. Not a love that, oh, I give food to this people, I pay staff. No. A love that has no payment. A love shown to someone who does not deserve it. For God's sake, you keep loaning to somebody and the person does not appreciate it, neither does he use it back. Why should I keep doing this thing? It is agape. Agape. Agape will always triumph. Agape. Unfortunately, this thing I'm saying is now a strange language in our time. It's a strange language. The so-called righteous man cannot tolerate a sinful man. Love is patient. Love is kind. Even to the most undeserving, it is kind. Who told you you deserve this realm that you are in? It's because agape. Agape was shown to you. So why can't you show agape to another? Oh, no, I'm too spiritual to this kind of person. I'm too spiritual for this kind of person. Agape. Agape is kind. If Apostle Paul did not have agape, he would have not witnessed to the Gentiles. He would have discriminated. Let's repent from the discriminatory kind of love we have in the Church of Christ today. And then let's go back to agape. That can still show love to someone who has killed you. To someone who has slapped you. That can still be merciful. To someone who despitefully use you, that can still pray for them. That can still pray for them. Don't believe a prayer that wants your enemy to die. No, pray for them. Do good to them that hate you. That is the teaching of our Elohim, of our Yeshua. That is his teaching. And we must obey his kind of teaching. Even the worst of men can be overcome with love. The Bible teaches us to overcome evil